Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. So guys, Caleb Plant, he wants to become undisputed. Caleb Plant has obviously been talking a lot. Caleb Plant is somebody that's on the lips of every boxing fan at the minute, because we want to see what's going on with the situation. However, someone's asked me to do a breakdown of Caleb Plant v David Benavidez. Caleb Plant's bought himself some gum shield. He's bought himself a gum shield saying undisputed. I don't know if you guys seen it, saying that you wouldn't buy these if you weren't confident that you're going to become undisputed and you're going to win the undisputed fight. So Caleb Plant is obviously very confident in his abilities. A lot of people seem to think that he's doing it for a payday. I beg to differ. I believe Caleb Plant believes he can win. I believe Caleb Plant believes he can become undisputed. But people seem to think there's a fighter out there that really is better than Caleb Plant, that should be in the position that Caleb Plant's in, and that is David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a guy who is a very, very good fighter. And no doubt about it, Benavidez can really fight. He's got very fast hands. He's a very, very big super middleweight, and a guy that a lot of people seem to think that would give Canelo a lot of trouble. David Benavidez, for me, is a guy with very fast hands. His movement, he's a bit static. I think he's a bit laboured. But he has got fast hands. He is big, and I do question his power. I'm not sure his power is what people say it is. But he is a big guy, and a very, very big super middleweight. That's probably really a 175 pounder. You know, a very, very big guy. I think he's even bigger than Callum Smith, to be honest with you. And he would be a problem for Caleb Plant, because Caleb Plant's a mover. Caleb Plant likes to move. However, I know a lot of people seem to think that Benavidez beats Caleb Plant. I don't think it's as easy as what you think, and I'll tell you why. David Benavidez is very sloppy with his movement. From what I've seen so far of David Benavidez, he's very sloppy, not got the greatest defense. And Caleb Plant is very fast, and Caleb Plant's a lot more crisp with his movement. He's a lot more smoother with his movement. His feet are a lot faster, and I think his hand speed is a lot more. He's accurate, but his shots are more crisp. Whereas David Benavidez isn't as crisp. He isn't as smooth with his movement, and I think that could land him in some trouble. Now, the only problem Caleb has is Caleb's not a big puncher, so can Caleb hurt? Now, I believe that David Benavidez was put down. I don't know. It wasn't against Ronald Ellis. I think it was a fight before he got put down. So Benavidez, like I said, defensively isn't that sound. I do think that here's the thing with Benavidez. His resume is very poor. And he's fighting Jose Utsakatsi, who obviously Caleb Plant won the title from. So I think we're going to learn a little bit more, because I do think this may be his toughest test to date, fighting Jose Utsakatsi. I think Utsakatsi is going to be a tough test. It's not going to be an easy fight for David Benavidez. Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Benavidez is a real Utsakatsi is a very, very tough fight. And Benavidez is going to be... Benavidez is also going to come prepared. He's also going to come in his A game, of course. But I don't think this is going to be that easy a fight for David Benavidez, Jose Utsakatsi. I feel that Benavidez should come through, but like I said, there are a lot of flaws in Benavidez's game that I don't think a lot of people are looking in. He's not very smooth with his movement, and he's defensively not sound. He has been put down. And like I said, his level of competition, I think you guys would agree with me, has been fairly poor. And really, if you look at it, Caleb Plant, who David Benavidez is now going to fight, is probably going to be David Benavidez' his best opponent. And we're going to find out how good David Benavidez is. I personally think that Caleb Plant will give David Benavidez a very good fight. I don't think it's as easy as what people think. And actually, if I'm honest with you, I don't know who would win that. I think that's a proper 50-50, because I don't think David Benavidez's power is what people think. I think David Benavidez has got height and reach, and he's got all the physical advantages, yes. But like I said, I do question that his movement is a little sloppy. Now, he may prove me wrong in his up-and-coming fights, and I think this fight against Jose Utsakatsi will tell me more and tell us more as boxing fans. But I don't think we should be writing off Caleb Plant in a David Benavidez fight. I think that's a proper 50-50 fight for me. That's a proper 50-50 fight, guys. You're writing David Benavidez. I mean, you're writing Caleb off. That's a tough fight for David Benavidez. Benavidez, like I said, go watch his fights. He's fast of hands, yes, but he's sloppy. That's not an easy fight, guys. Caleb can fight. Caleb's a lot more crisper with his movement. He's a lot faster with his movement, and he's a lot more crisper, cleaner. So for me, that's a dangerous fight because I don't believe Benavidez is crisp with his movement. He comes across quite sloppy at times when he's letting his punches go, and and Caleb is, like I said, a lot more crisper with his punches. I want to see that fight. To be honest with you, I really want to see that fight because I personally think that's a very competitive fight. Very, very competitive fight. It wouldn't even surprise me if Caleb hurts Benavidez in that fight because, like I said, I can't remember what fight it was, guys, but Benavidez has been decked before. I can't remember whether it wasn't the Ronald Ellis fight. It might have been the fight before. He was put down, you know, by a guy that wasn't really a top-level guy. Like I said, this is probably his toughest test, Benavidez, in fighting Jose Utsakatsi. This is, honestly, guys, you guys are overlooking Caleb. Caleb won't beat Canelo, but Canelo's different class. That's why, so some people say that Benavidez beats Canelo. I really scratch my eyebrows because, like I said, he's not very crisp with his movement. He sums up, for me, he's a bit sloppy. You know, I've watched David Benavidez's fights, and I've watched a lot of his fights now, and I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced yet. I need to see him against a high-level opponent before I can say, you know what, he's the real deal. I think a lot of people are bigging up David Benavidez without him really being tested at that high level yet. You know, he looks good, yes, but Caleb has a better win on his resume against Jose Utsakatsi. And let's see how David looks against Jose Utsakatsi. That's not an easy fight, guys. That's not an easy fight. I think some of you guys are sleeping on Caleb, you know. Like I said, I don't think Caleb beats Canelo, but I don't think that Caleb would be that easy for David Benavidez. That's a proper 50-50 fight for me. I don't know why you guys are really writing Caleb off. Maybe it's because you guys are Canelo fans and you don't like the situation, but I'm telling you, that's a hard fight for David Benavidez. That's a proper 50-50 for me. Caleb Plant is the more sounder of the two boxers. Caleb Plant is technically the most sound boxer out of the two, believe me. Out of David and Caleb is the more sound boxer. He's the more cleaner boxer. Cleaner in the sense that I feel like he's a lot more crisper with his punches. Punches are more precise. You know, David Benavidez has got fast hands, but David Benavidez has... He comes across quite flat-footed. A leaky defense as well. You know, and someone like a precise, technically sound fighter like a Caleb Plant with fast hands as well, because Caleb's got fast hands, right? And he's got quicker feet. That's the thing. Caleb has quicker feet than David Benavidez. So that in itself is going to cause David Benavidez a lot of trouble. His quick feet. Now, is David Benavidez going to be able to back Caleb up and wear him down with his size and physicality? Possibly. That's going to be what wins David the fight. David Benavidez, his physicality, his height, reach, him basically just being the bigger man might be able to wear Caleb down, possibly. But in terms of the better, more technically sound boxer, I would have to say that for me is Caleb. Out of the two. I'm just being honest, not taking no sides. I think Caleb might be the more sounder out of the two. Seriously, guys. I personally don't think that's as easy a fight as what some of you seem to think for David Benavidez. And I do think Caleb Plant and David would be a 50-50 fight. I wouldn't mind if the Canelo fight doesn't happen, for some reason doesn't happen with Plant, I would love to see David Benavidez. I would love to see David Benavidez fight Caleb Plant. I think that's a great fight. Great fight. And a fight that both men can win. Yes, both men can win. Not just David Benavidez. I actually think Caleb could beat David Benavidez. Without question. Without question. I know that at this stage, Caleb's not going to want to fight David Benavidez because he's got a Canelo fight, which obviously would make him a lot of money. And it makes more sense for Caleb to take that fight because obviously he's going to make far more money. But again, I think a fight even in the future, even if Caleb does fight Canelo and lose, I think a fight in the future between Caleb and David Benavidez is a fight that I would definitely be interested in. Caleb Plant is a very, very good boxer. I'm telling you, some of you guys are sleeping on Caleb Plant. I saw this guy a while ago and I was like, whoa, this guy's a talent. Caleb is a good fighter. I'm not saying he beats Canelo because Canelo's a different breed of a fighter. But David Benavidez, oof, that's a 50-50 fight. Trust me, do not sleep on Caleb in that fight. Because Caleb, out of the two, personally, I think he's technically more sound. He's more sound than David Benavidez. Definitely more sound. And he's got better feet than David Benavidez. I think you guys would agree with me on that. You know, so, yeah, I definitely don't think Benavidez would beat Canelo. You know, some people seem to think that Benavidez, nah. Canelo would beat Benavidez. You know, Benavidez's defense is too leaky. He's too flat-footed. And I don't think he's got the power to really hurt Canelo. So, yeah, I don't see it, man. Size is great, but size isn't always going to win. Size isn't always going to win you all the time. Like size and height, you've got to know how to use that. And I'm not sure that against... I just think that Caleb's got quicker feet than David Benavidez, so I think that'll be a problem for him. Those quick feet and Benavidez having slower feet, I think Caleb could really cause Benavidez a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And like I said, David Benavidez isn't the most elusive fighter either. He's there to be hit. So, yeah, I definitely think that, you know, Caleb could cause Benavidez a lot of trouble, in my opinion. But I don't know what you guys... I'd love to know what you guys think. Because, see, some of you guys seem to think it's a wrap that Caleb wouldn't have no chance against David Benavidez. Nah, man. Nah, Caleb is a live fighter in that fight. And like I said, for me, it's a 50-50. So I'm not even calling anyone an underdog or favorite. I think that's a proper 50-50 fight. And to me, the more sounder out of the two is Caleb. But again, I'd love to know your guys' opinion. What do you guys think? Do you think David Benavidez would beat him? Do you think Caleb would beat him? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to know your opinion, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. See you guys in the next video. Peace.